Most people hire a mover twice in their life, and the process usually starts exactly like this. You want a fast, cheap quote to solve an immediate problem, so you jump on the phone. Within 20 minutes, you have 3 different prices, and they all look legitimate. But look at this split path diagram. It exposes the dividing line of the entire moving industry, what you see in the marketing versus what actually happens with your belongings. Legitimate carriers own trucks, employ crews, and assume liability for your move. Brokers own 0 trucks. They operate out of call centers, using sponsored search ads and aggressive sales pitches to get your deposit. Then they auction your move to an unknown third-party carrier. You have no idea who is actually showing up at your door. That blind handoff leads to a highly specific extortion tactic called a hostage load. The third-party carrier arrives, loads your life into their truck, claims your items take up more space than estimated, and padlocks the doors. They will not release your belongings until you pay a massive, unexpected cash surcharge. Prioritizing a fast phone quote over hard verification leaves you entirely exposed to this tactic. You get immediate convenience today, but you risk thousands of dollars and your personal possessions on moving day. This scorecard lays out a 10-minute verification protocol relying on government data. Step 1. Ask the salesperson for their USDOT or MC number. If moving within California, ask for their CAL-T or MTR number. This means you have to interrupt their sales pitch. It feels slightly confrontational, but a legally compliant mover is required to display these numbers in their advertising. They will rattle them off instantly. If they stall or change the subject, the audit is over. Step 2 requires taking that number and entering it into the Department of Transportation's SAFER Company Snapshot. Looking at this interface, check 2 specific fields. Under Entity Type, it must say Carrier. If it says Broker, they lied. Then check Power Units. That tells you exactly how many trucks they operate. 0 power units means a sales office. Navigating a clunky government website takes a few extra minutes, but unlike online user reviews, these databases are entirely unfakeable. These first 2 steps alone eliminate the vast majority of bad actors by proving whether the company has the legal authority and physical equipment to handle your move. Step 3. The Federal Complaint Registry at protectyourmove.gov. Context matters. A national carrier moving thousands will have minor claims, but a company with 3 trucks and 40 hostage load complaints is executing a deliberate business model. Step 4 is the paperwork tell. Reputable interstate carriers price your move by weight using certified scales you witness. Brokers almost exclusively price by cubic feet, a highly subjective volume measurement crews manipulate by stacking boxes loosely. To lock in your price, demand a written, not-to-exceed estimate based on a physical survey. The mover has to see your belongings to legally cap the final cost. This means you must schedule a walkthrough. You cannot simply get off the phone with a finalized budget in 10 minutes. Accepting a volume-based price from a 2-minute phone call guarantees your estimate has no legal ceiling. It gives the crew total authority to invent a new price on your lawn. The final step checks your financial leverage. Established carriers collect payment upon successful delivery. They ask for little upfront. If a company demands a massive, non-refundable deposit before seeing your furniture, walk away. Keeping your money secure means saying no to salespeople who promise you a steep, heavily discounted quote that requires cash today. As a final check, put their registration address into a Maps app. Look for real warehouses and trucks with DOT numbers, like this established Beckons facility. Bad operators work out of residential homes, virtual office suites, and unmarked rental trucks. Retaining control of your money and confirming the company exists in physical space ensures you maintain the upper hand throughout the process. This quadrant chart maps the initial effort you spend vetting a mover against the final cost and stress of the actual move. If you are time poor and skip the administrative checks, you rely on the first friendly voice on the phone. That minimal upfront effort usually results in severe delays and massive unbudgeted expenses on delivery day. If you are strictly budget conscious and chase the lowest initial cubic foot estimate, you are highly likely to hit a hostage load. The cheap quote you lock in today turns into the most expensive move possible by the end of the week. The diligent path requires pushing back on salespeople, demanding video surveys, and verifying DOT numbers. It requires more effort, but it secures a fair, legally binding price from an accountable carrier. Do not rely on search engine rankings or 5-star review walls. Those metrics are easily purchased by marketing firms to bury real complaints. Investing 10 minutes to check the federal databases is the only proven method to verify who you are actually hiring. A legitimate moving company will never hide from this audit. They will hand you their license numbers and ask you to look them up. If you ask for a DOT number and the voice on the other end says they work with licensed partners, press the End Call button. The objective is not to find the cheapest initial quote. The objective is to ensure that everything you own safely reaches your new home, exactly as promised.